Today I'm going to show you how you can part out your scrap car to get some extra cash. Now before you part out your running and driving car, chop the top off and have a little bit of fun like me and drive around in a convertible just to enjoy it before you scrap it. Now when scrapping a car, some of the more valuable parts include the wheels and tires, maybe the battery, the catalytic converter, and depending on the make or model, sometimes the engine or transmission. Then of course there's other parts including body panels, lights, starters, and alternators that can make good used parts for other vehicles. Now this ES300 happens to have a new alternator, a battery with a warranty, radiator, and a new exhaust, so those are definitely worth saving. But I also want to turn this V6 engine into a coffee table, so today I'm also going to be dropping down the engine and transmission assembly. Now safety first, we're going to remove the battery terminal and drain all the fluid. Now to begin disassembly of this car, I'm going to remove the battery and airbox assembly. So with the battery and airbox out of the way, I just got to remove a bunch of these electrical wires, vacuum hoses, and these coolant hoses for the heater core. So we've got everything cleared off from this side of the engine. I also have to disconnect the steering. Next we're going to work on the front end. I'm going to remove the radiator and the fan to get a little bit more room to work here. Now over on this side of the engine, I got to disconnect the two AC lines, the alternator, as well as the power steering line that goes down to the pump. Remove that refrigerant line. And remove that one. So now that we've got the left side, the front side, and the right side of the engine all disconnected from the body, we're going to then head inside to disconnect the wires from the ECU. We're going to remove this glove box. Now this here is the wire that comes from the engine through the firewall, and it connects up into the ECU located over here. And then now from inside the engine bay, I can wiggle that wiring harness free. I'm going to remove this little engine mount. Now with the engine bay cleared out, I'm next going to start disassembling the suspension down below. Now under here I'm going to remove the strut and the stabilizer link to give me enough room to drop the subframe down. I knew I couldn't get through any video without any special equipment. Now if the calipers are good, they could also bring back a couple of bucks. Let's remove that strut. So now that we've got the engine bay and the suspension cleared out of the way, we're next going to head underneath the vehicle to get rid of the exhaust and drop the subframe. Now, the catalytic converters are one of the most valuable parts on scrap vehicles. We have one on bank 1 here and one on the second bank over here. The one at the rear was removed by a shop who didn't understand what a new catback exhaust system meant. And after a bunch of broken souvenirs, I can reach in and pull out my exhaust pipe. So with everything cleared, the subframe, engine, and transmission, I just have to remove 14mm bolt and a 19mm bolt on each corner, and then I can drop the subframe down. So this here's my setup. I got 2 jacks on either side with a dolly that I'm going to drop the subframe. And there we have it. The engine and tranny has been dropped down, and with the car jacked up the highest I can, I have just enough clearance to pull this engine out of the passenger side fender. And with that, I got the engine and transmission removed from the car, and I'm going to keep that for a future video. Let's get on with parting out the rest of this car. Sometimes these ABS modules are worth a lot of money, so I'm just going to remove it. I'm just going to remove the front manifold here because it contains a catalytic converter. If you take your time to remove the engine wiring harness without damaging it, this is definitely worth something. Now worn struts aren't really worth that much, so I'm just going to put that back with the vehicle. Now when stripping the body, we're going to want to focus on things that are quick and easy to remove and easy to sell, such as headlights and taillights. However, bigger parts such as doors, fenders, and the hood are best left to be sold locally because you don't really want to ship them online. In my area, there aren't too many of these ES300s locally, so I'm going to leave mine with the car. Headlights are a quick, easy sell. Everyone needs those. These just need a little bit of polishing and they'll be good to go. Some of these headlight connectors are good to save in case the ones in your cars burn out. Remove all the taillights. I think it looks pretty classy without the taillights. Don't forget to save all the fuses and relays from this box. Make sure you drain out all the washer fluid and save it for your car. And underneath here I'm going to take off the exhaust pipe and the rear muffler because these were recently replaced. Now inside the vehicle we're going to be pulling off both side view mirrors because a lot of people nick those and need new ones. We're also going to pull off the airbag because that's worth something, or you could just have a little fun and blow it up. The driver's side seat is also a very high wear item, as well as the stereo and instrument cluster. The switches for the power windows as well as the regulators themselves are also a high wear item. The sound system was pretty good on this car, so I'm going to save all the speakers and subwoofer. Also going to be pulling out the subwoofer. Depending on the vehicle, sometimes the wiper switch and the turn signal switch could be used in other vehicles. Now from under the dash, we're going to be taking the CD changer, the amplifier, as well as the ECU. Now make sure you keep the master key because they're paired with the ECU. You can also take out the blower motor. Now typically driver seats that are in good condition will have some demand because these always wear out. This one's in pretty rough shape, so I'm going to be cutting this one up to show you how it works. Stay tuned. And look at that, all in a day's worth of work we pulled so many valuable parts from this car, including the lights, the wheels, and of course the engine and transmission itself. And that's pretty much all the components removed from the interior and exterior. That's both easy to remove and will sell. You obviously have to do a lot of research here to figure out if it's worthwhile removing some of these components. Now the next thing you're going to do is list all the parts you've taken off online, but you're also going to want to list the car itself online for parts. That way if anybody wants any odds and ends such as interior pieces or exterior body panels locally, you can profit off of that before you scrap the whole vehicle. Now you're going to need at least 2 scrap wheels in the back so the tow truck can pick it up from the front and haul it away. And that's pretty much how you can have a little bit of fun with your scrap car by turning its parts into cash. Now if you need any parts for this vehicle, make sure you comment below or message me on Facebook. Make sure you follow me on Instagram for more behind the scenes footage and subscribe for more videos just like this one. This Lexus trunk mat actually fits my Camry pretty good, so I think I'm going to keep it.